Hello, everybody. Greetings from New Orleans. Spider-Man and I want to get into the next Fantastic Four story. This is a classic, and it's called This Man, This Monster. And you see it features Ben Grimm as the Thing. But look, Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Girl both are part of this story too. So let's see what happens. This is kind of a tragic story, but it has a really good ending. All right, the fabulous FF must solve the terrible riddle of this man, this monster. And quite possibly, this may be one of the greatest illustrated epics yet produced. Well, I agree. Let's get started. All right, occasionally a tale needs no introduction. This is such a tale. It's a rainy night, a strangely forlorn figure, and rare wonderment awaits us. And it's the Thing. He's walking through the rain. He's sad. He's depressed. He's thinking, I'll never be human again. I'll live and die just the way I am. And here comes a police car. Look, Dave, isn't that the Thing? He must be. Today isn't Halloween. So one policeman says, you want a lift, big fella? A guy can catch a cold that way. A normal guy, you mean? Says the Thing. Weather don't bother me. The other policeman says, is anything wrong? You look kind of beat. Well, so would you if you had a face like mine. Aw, says Thing, don't mind me. I'm okay. Everything's coming up roses. See you around. And so even though there's a lot bothering him, he doesn't want to talk about it. They tried to be helpful. Yeah, some chance. How do you help an orange-skinned freak whose gal gave him the air? Well, he thinks that Alicia has left him, but that's not true. I wonder what made me walk to this neighborhood, thinks the Thing. Almost like something was pulling. Hey! And here's a strange fella reaching out of a door into the rain, and he taps the Thing on his shoulder. I saw you out there in the rain. Why not come in where it's warm and dry? What is this? Be nice to Gargoyles Week or something? The stranger says, I can understand your bitterness, and I sympathize with it. I too know how it feels to be lonely and sad of heart. The stranger thinks he still suspects nothing. I must be careful, so very careful. The Thing says, I'll just sit here for a minute. I'm tired of walking, tired of thinking. Perhaps a warm cup of coffee will make you feel better. There ain't enough coffee in the world. Aw, nuts. I'm beginning to sound like a blasted soap opera. Yeah, I agree. That's all right. I don't mind, says the stranger. What's your angle, pal? You a talent scout for a freak show or something? No, says the stranger, but I too have been rejected. I am a scientist, but I'm also a man who knows how it feels to be scorned by others, to be mocked and ridiculed because of my theories. Knock it off, you're breaking my heart. One Reed Richards is enough. Ah, continues the stranger, I wish I had Richards' money and his equipment. With his reputation, his fame, his assets, he can accomplish seeming miracles. Thing answers, you sure come on strong, mister. Well, thanks for the Java, chum. I'm going to grab me some shut-eye. He's tired, thinks the stranger. The coffee worked well. Wait! He tries to stop him. No need to go out in the rain. I have a couch you can use. It isn't much, but if you're sleepy, I don't get it, says the thing. I can hardly keep my peepers open. I'm bushed. I think the stranger slipped a potion into that coffee and is making this thing sleepy. So far, so good, thinks the stranger. He's sound asleep. Everything worked perfectly. And look, the thing stretched out on the couch and he fell asleep. After tonight, they'll laugh at my theories no longer. I'll have proven myself at last, and then I'll score the greatest triumph of all. Single-handedly, I'll destroy the entire Fantastic Four. That's his plan? Thus, I'll prove for all time that I'm the mental superior of Reed Richards. Well, that's saying a lot. I've spent a lifetime creating my duplication apparatus. This is big machine. And it's taken long months of patient planning to lure the thing into this room by using my short-range subliminal influencer. Okay, so he's been using a mind probe to bring the thing into his lair. But now, all the labor, all the waiting, all the scheming will pay off at last. I'm through being a loser. This time, I've got the winning hand. As for the thing, there's no way he can ever stop me. And look, he's strapping on that duplication device around the thing. And then he's strapping it on himself. He says he was the perfect choice for my experiment because of our slight skeletal resemblance. Have you noticed that? His bald, square head, his low forehead kind of resembles the thing. That fact will make the duplication process all the more effective. And now, let it begin. And so he turns on his duplication device. It's working as I knew it would. I can sense it. I can feel it. And look, the scientist is turning himself into the thing. His skin is turning orange, and his skin is developing the rock-like covering. He says, my apparatus is duplicating the thing, cell for cell, molecule for molecule. It's over. Look, I'm an exact replica of him. Now all his fame and his power are mine. As for the real thing, he's got no cause to complain. He returned to his normal form. Now I am the monster and not he. But this is only the first phase of my plan. There is still much to be done. I must begin immediately to practice speaking in exactly the same manner as the real orange-skinned thing. And so look, the thing is now returned to his form as Ben Grimm. And so now he's a human, but this scientist is now the thing. A few days later, in the tower of the world-famous Baxter Building, we find Reed and Sue. Reed says, I'll have to skip dinner tonight, Sue. I can't stop working now. But that's what you said last night, Reed, and the night before. No wonder he's so skinny. I'm sorry, dear, but it won't take too much longer. If this works, it will give Earth a weapon with which to fight extraterrestrial menaces such as Galactus. Do you think he'll return? Sue asks. There's always a chance, and in this new space age, we must have adequate defenses against any attack. Sue says, I think you know more than you're telling me. You've had work crews all week building new machines, especially that one in the locked lead-lined room. How did you find out? Reed asks. But before the puzzled girl can reply, a familiar voice booms out. What's this about a locked room, Stretcho? Ben, exclaims Sue, you're back. Sure, it's nice of you to notice. Well, we think it's the thing, but it's not, is it? Where have you been, Ben? We haven't heard from you for days. I had me some thinking to do, he says. Reed says, I hope you got whatever was bothering you out of your system. We've no time for prima donnas here. Relax, Hambone, he says. I'm okay now. Hey, where is the torch? Yeah, he's looking around for the torch. He wants to defeat him, too. He's attending Metro College, but I'll tell you about it later. We've got work to do now. You're just in time to move that Meson particle smasher for me. Look at that big machine. The guy says, what? Me? Move that? Quit clowning, Ben. I'm working against time. Every minute counts. Oh, yeah, sure, he says. Okay, I guess I can lift it if you want me to. Well, of course you can, says Reed. You've done it dozens of times before. Sure, he says. Sure, I just forgot. Yeah, he forgot how strong he is as the thing. Hey, how about that? With one hand yet. Over here, Ben, says Reed. Come on, step on it. What's gotten into you, big fella? And then, look who's here. It's the real Ben Grimm. And he hollers, can't you guess what's gotten into him, big brain? Sue says, that sounds like Ben. Watch yourself, Stretch. That guy's a fake. He ain't the thing. I am. Reed, cries Sue, it isn't possible. But look. Easy, says Reed. There must be an answer. All right, smart guy, talk. He's talking to the scientist. How'd you do it? How'd you turn yourself into the thing? I said talk. Well, and the fake says, wait till I stop trembling, sonny. Look, I don't know who this nut is, but if he don't stop breathing in my face, he knows who I am, all right, retorts Ben. He duplicated me somehow. He turned into the thing, and I turned back to Ben Grimm. We got to make him admit it. Now, hold on, mister, says Reed. The thing isn't exactly an easy man to imitate. He's not imitating me, says Ben. He is me. I don't know what I mean. Step aside, egghead. I'll settle this before you can say Aunt Petunia. No, Ben, have you gone mad? You can't attack him with that titanium steel bar. You got to be kidding. If I wanted to clobber him, I wouldn't need any bar. I just want to put on a little show for you. Now, if I ain't really the thing, then who's doing this? Crunch. Okay, so he tears up that titanium bar. He's really strong. He's figured that out by now, hadn't he? Any questions? Look, friend, says Reed, I'll admit you bear an uncanny resemblance to Ben Grimm, but I don't know how you can expect to get away with such a foolish claim. And Ben says, you mean you don't believe me? And the fake says, you catch on real quick, bub. All right, says Ben, I ain't gonna bang my head against a stone wall. I'm Ben Grimm, and nothing can change that. I know it, and he knows it. But if you want to play footsie with him, go ahead. What do I care? It's your funeral. Maybe it'll teach you a lesson for once. Reed Richards, boy genius. Haw, what a laugh. So Ben leaves. Reed says, it's incredible. Not only is he dead ringer for you, Ben, but he sounds just like you. Big deal, says the fake. He's probably been taking elocution lessons. Too bad I had to blow the guy's gimmick. I wonder what he was after. You know, for a minute there, I thought you was starting to believe that phony. If his story weren't so impossible, he did seem to be Ben Grimm. Now don't get huffy, Benjamin, says Reed. You know I'd trust you with my life. In fact, that's just what I'm about to do. Huh? Now what in blazes are you talking about? I've got to test a machine I've just completed, Ben, and if anything goes wrong, only you can save me. Reed, exclaims Sue, what do you mean? What is it? You haven't told me. There isn't time, Sue. Have faith in me as I have in Ben. All right, so things are getting serious now. But if it's that dangerous, why can't I help you? Asks Sue. I know you've the heart, darling, but you haven't the strength. Only Ben can do it. Do what, Reed? Tell me. Yes, I owe you that much, answers Reed. There are those who have mastered the space-time principle, the ability to speed faster than light to any part of the universe. Galactus, the Watcher, the Silver Surfer, they all can do it. But how does that affect us? Sue asks. There can be no defense against a faster-than-light attack. And so, for the safety of the Earth, the sake of the human race, man too must break the same barrier. Look, danger, experiment, space-time. Whoops. And then they enter the locked room where they find this huge radical cube is designed to create a dimensional entrance into subspace, which is the area I must explore. I'm going to enter the cube now, Ben, that while you hold that reel of super tensile strength cable. Ben says, what am I supposed to do with the blame thing? If I run into any danger, I'll tug on it, and you're to pull me back here immediately, no matter what. Reed, exclaims Sue, wait, take me with you. Please, let me go too. I can't, my darling, but knowing that you're here, waiting, I'll come back through, though Satan himself should bar the way. And here's a glimpse of the entire space-time portal. Look how big it is, and he'll be entering through this ramp and going down this hallway into the subspace, the space-time portal. Wow, that will be an interesting adventure, won't it? So Reed prepares to undertake one of his most dangerous feats of his career. Sue is still clinging to him. Reed, my darling, don't do it. I have a premonition of disaster, or at least let me come with you. But Reed answers, it's impossible, Sue. I can't turn back now. Subspace must be explored and conquered for the good of mankind. And over here, the fake thing is thinking, I always thought he was just a glamour pants, out for all the dough and glory he could get. But he's tackling a job that won't net him a plugged nickel, and he's doing it without any fanfare or publicity. Remember, Ben, says Reed, don't let go of that line. My life is in your hands. And then he thinks, there can be no turning back now. Once I push this lever, the phase drive mechanism will be automatically activated. It must be done, no matter what. Now, clack, and he pulls that lever. I've done it. The universe seems to be tearing itself open, falling apart. I've shredded the very fabric of infinity, where all positive matter is transposed into negative form. And now I'm plunging through the resulting void, which I've created in the space-time dimensional barrier. It's almost more than human eyes can bear. I'm actually witnessing a 4-dimensional universe. but the effect of seeing it with three-dimensional vision is indescribable. The line which is tied to me is my only contact with reality. If that should break, I'd be lost forever. And look at this artwork and the fancy design that we're seeing into this four-dimensional universe. Everything is moving faster now. The universe has become a vast kaleidoscope of light and sound. There's only one explanation. I'm finally approaching my goal. I'm at the very edge of subspace. I've done it. I'm drifting into a world of limitless dimensions. It's the crossroads of infinity, the junction to everywhere. Woo! Look at that artwork. What a fancy design with circles and lines and rings and spheres, and Reed in the middle of it, heading toward the center of subspace. But I still can't control my movements. I'm being buffeted helplessly through the void, yet every form of matter seems to be plunging madly toward one central source. And then suddenly the lone dedicated human who is Reed Richards sees the senses-shattering fate that seems to await him. Ahead of me, it's the one thing I feared, the one thing there can be no defense against. What is it that he sees? The elements of subspace are being irresistibly drawn back towards the Earth. But here in subspace, all matter is negative, while Earth is positive. Therefore, whatever strikes the atmosphere of Earth must instantly explode. Oh no! What will Reed Richards do? My only chance for escape is the line. Ben has to feel my tugging. He's got to pull me back while he still can. Nothing's happening. If he fails me now, I'm doomed. Ben, where are you? Ben, Ben. But we know that he ejected Ben from the Baxter Building, and he's left his fate in the very strong and capable but treacherous hands of the fake thing. And here we have the fake thing and Sue back in the Baxter Building at the other end of the fateful line, and the fake thing thinks he's tugging. All I got to do is ignore him, and I'll have beaten the one man I've always envied, the one man no one else could ever defeat. But, he thinks, all of a sudden, I don't envy him anymore. I never knew how brave he was, how unselfish. And Sue hollers, Ben, the line is growing taut. It's Reed. It's his signal. So Sue wants Ben to reel him in. All these years, thinks the fake thing, when I thought I never got the breaks. Now I know the truth. It was my fault, nobody else's. I wouldn't work hard enough. I wouldn't make the sacrifices that Reed Richards would. I never saw things so clear before. It's almost like I've really become the thing, not just an imitation. And Sue cries out, pull him in, Ben, quickly. Ben! Ben, for the love of heaven! And then the fake thing continues. I never did a worthwhile thing in my whole life, but now I finally got the chance. I can really be Ben Grimm. I've got to do it. I'll save Richards. Don't worry, lady, he says. I'll get him now. But the strange changeling, before he can make a move, I waited too long. It snapped. He's done for, and it's because of me. And Sue cries out, oh no, no. And this super tensile rope breaks, and the connection with Reed Richards is lost. I've got to go to him. He can't be left alone in there. He needs me. He needs me. But the fake thing says, stay back, do you hear? Stay back. There's nothing you can do. Whatever's happening to him in there, only a mass of muscle can help. And so this massive muscle leaps and runs after that tinsel rope. He says, "You wait out there, baby. I'll whistle if I need you. Maybe if I'm lucky, I can still grab that blasted hunk of line before it's too late." So he lunges and he says, "I got it." And look, he's being pulled out into subspace. But in making his last-ditch desperate leap after the thin strand of cable, the man with the thing's body is himself instantly drawn into the incredible barrier between the dimensions. "Now I've done it. Whatever happened to Richards will happen to me too. I can't turn back." Lucky the body of the thing is strong enough to stand extreme conditions without a protective helmet, or I'd be done for already. So he doesn't need the protective suit that Reed Richards has on. There he is. He's still alive, but for how long? Reed says, "Ben, you fool, you shouldn't have come after me. Now we're both doomed. You were just supposed to pull the line when I tugged. Ben, old friend, I didn't want this to happen to you. In a few seconds, we'll reach the atmosphere below us, and it'll mean instant death if only you hadn't come." And so the fake thing looks around. This is how it's going to end. And even now, he's worried more about me than himself. Brace yourself, Ben. We did the best we could. One can do no more. You are the greatest partner a man ever had. And so he shakes Ben's hand, expecting this to be the end. And the fake thing thinks, that's the guy I spent years hating, being jealous of. I ain't worth his little pinky. Then suddenly, "Maybe we don't have to both die, mister." And so he grabs Reed Richards. "Ben, what are you doing?" And he flings him with all his strength. The one worthwhile thing I ever did in my whole wasted life. Even the strength which I now possess, I stole from another, but maybe I can use that strength to even the score somehow. And so he flings Reed Richards in the direction from whence they both came. I tossed him back in exactly the same direction I came from. He's out of sight now, so I'll never know. "So long, Richards," he says. "I hope you make it." As for me, I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. Not many men get a second chance to make up for the rotten things they've done in their lifetime. And so there he sits on that rocky platform waiting for the end. I guess I'm luckier than most. I got that chance, for I finally learned what it means to have a friend. And of course, a friend is a great gift. A friend is God's gift to each one of us, and hopefully we have many friends in our lives. But this scientist had no friends until at the end when he shook Reed Richards' hand. Okay. At that moment, in another section of our vast, unfathomable universe, unaware of the dire danger confronting Reed Richards, the real Ben Grimm prepares to pay a call. So he's walking down the hall of an apartment building, and he thinks, my only hope is that Alicia will be able to tell who I am. Being blind, she's more sensitive to a person's true self than anyone with sight could be. Even though she can't see, I'm still kind of nervous to be facing her like a normal man. It's what I always wanted, always dreamed of, if only it had happened some other way. I can't let that phony take my place in the FF. There's no telling what'll happen if he does. And so here's the door of Alicia Masters. And he reaches out to knock on it. And then what? My hand! As Ben Grimm knocks on the door of Alicia Masters, he sees that he's turning back into the thing. startled, shocked, stunned into speechlessness. He has no way of knowing that a universe away, the man who had taken his identity has now given it up again forever. So now Ben realizes that he once again is the thing. Finally, when the initial numbed reaction has passed, he says, I've become the thing again. Now I can go back and clobber that creep who's posing as me. And he's busting out of his shirt. Besides, by turning into Ben Grimm again, I might have had a chance with Alicia, but now it's too late. I'm a walking, living monster again. Maybe this is the real me. Maybe Ben Grimm is nothing more than a dream. And a scant few seconds later, Alicia answers the door. I thought I heard someone at the door, but no one is here now. And yet I had the strangest feeling in my heart, as though it was someone whom I love. And so she sensed Ben Grimm, the thing at her door. That's who she loves. But now let's rush back to the Baxter building before the thing gets there, because we don't want to miss the next event. Reed, says Sue. Reed, my darling, it's you. You're alive. He did it, exclaims Reed. I'm back. Swoosh. And he flies through the portal back into reality, back into the Baxter building. Ben saved you. I knew he would. I knew it. He's never failed us yet. But Reed, where is he? He didn't return with you. What happened to him? Sue, I don't know how to say it. It happened so quickly. 1 minute we were together, and then it was over. I owe him my life. It's my fault, Sue. The line I told him to hold. It must have pulled him into subspace. No, darling, no. He didn't do as you said. He waited too long until the line snapped. I saw him. Don't try to spare my feelings, dear. You know how I felt about Ben. He was more than just a friend. I'd have given my life for him 1,000 times. Sue says, I only wish we knew why he didn't pull the line in time. What does it matter now with him gone? And here's the thing, he's listening. The phony must have bit the dust, and they still think it was me. The jaw-breaking, egg-headed square. He does have feelings after all, who'd have guessed? And so the thing hears what Reed has to say about him. He says, you can cool the crying towel bit now. I'm alive and kicking. Like always, it was that other guy I warned you about who cashed in. Ben, says Reed. Or is it Ben? How can we know? It is the real Ben. I can sense it, Reed, says Sue. That's the answer I was looking for. That's why the other Ben didn't pull the line in time. He was an imposter. It's too good to be true, but I'll trust Sue's feminine intuition anytime. Oh, Ben, says Sue, Ben dearest, we thought we had lost you. Easy, Susie gal, says the thing. Your husband might get jealous and try to polish me off with some new 50-buck words. Okay, now, what about that rotten creep who tried to take my place here? What's the lowdown on him? Try not to judge him too harshly, Ben. Somehow, at the last minute, some of your own heroism reached out through the endless void and touched him. Huh? I'd still like to have gotten my own paws on him, just once. It's too late for that now, old friend. We'll never know what monstrous things he had done in the past, or what monstrous plans he had made, but one thing is certain. He paid the full price, and he paid it like a man. What a great ending, right? This man who was a villain, we don't know his name, but in his jealousy and envy of Reed Richards, he almost destroyed him. But at the very end, he changed. He repented and became a different person, someone with honor, someone with courage, someone who saved the life of Reed Richards at the cost of his own. Great story. This is why this is such a classic story in the Marvel Comics universe. Well, I know you want to know what's next, and you won't believe it. Wow. I can't wait until the next time, because the next Papa video that's right, it's introducing the sensational Black Panther, the very first story that features the Black Panther. And look, the torch is back, along with Invisible Girl and Mr. Fantastic and the Thing, all fighting this great new character. Well, I can't wait for that. But I hope in the meantime you enjoyed this man, this monster. Lots of great Fantastic Four stories, right? Okay, more to come. All right, love to everybody there. Bye-bye.